unethical. This is unethical.
This is unethical.
Dirty mouth radio, dirty mouth radio. This is unethical. This is unethical. This is unethical. Dirty mouth radio, dirty mouth, dirty mouth.
Dirty Mouth Radio. Dirty Mouth Radio.
What up? It's your boy Kemetic Energy, and this is Dirty Mouth Radio. Dirty Mouth Radio, produced by Livewire Sound and Entertainment.
It's your boy Kray.
Alright, we solo dolo, man.
We the two nomads. Two nomads out here in the Sahara Desert.
Oh my goodness. What's poppin', yeah?
Yeah, what's good, son?
Shit, man. Y'all had a quick icebreaker, man. Shout out to my boy Iz, man. Man, doing questions of the day at the job and shit. Yo, so I pulled one of the questions that he gave us, right? And this joint, it was pretty thought-provoking, right? So the question is, what is one stigma that you would want to get rid of as a society?
Oh,
so when we say society, it's just all-encompassing. Like, it ain't even just black, it's just...
So it's just all the human race.
Yeah, it's a human race. What is one stigma you would like to get rid of?
Damn. It's funny because, like, in humanity, so many stigmas are true.
Yeah, that's true.
So, like, okay, so let's explain what stigma means, because a lot of people probably don't even understand what stigma means.
So, stigma is pretty much something that's tied to something. Like, it's something that kind of sticks with something and is kind of deemed as true. It doesn't always have to be true. It's just one of those things that's just tied to something. You see what I'm saying?
Like a stereotype.
Kind of like one, yeah.
All right, so I knew what stigma mean. I just wanted everybody else to know, because niggas throw words around all the time and people don't be knowing what the fuck.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so for the sake of the conversation, stigma is almost relative to a stereotype associated with someone or something. Almost like a rumor or something that's kind of stuck with you just because of something else.
So I'll give you even the textbook version. It's a mark of disgrace associated with a particular circumstance, quality, or person.
Oh,
yeah,
that's a good one. Mm-hmm. All right, so a stigma for humanity that I would want to get rid of. Cause first off, I think about, like, I would like to get rid of the stigma that all people are selfish. All human beings are selfish. That stigma is kind of difficult because it's like, you can think about it in so many different ways as far as, like, being selfish and shit. All right. Mm-hmm. So, like, if you do something for yourself, as far as, like, buying you a whole bunch of shit, and you come home and you don't do anything for your wife, that's called selfish, right?
Okay.
But if you buy all this shit for yourself because you want to please your wife and you want to get that notification from your wife that you're doing the right things and shit like that, right? Or your girlfriend or your significant other, is that not still like, if you buy your girlfriend some shit so she can be happy, so that you can be happy, is that not still selfish?
Say that one more time.
Okay, so there's two scenarios here. If you buy a whole bunch of shit for yourself, you come home and you don't buy shit for your wife ever, that's selfish, right?
Of course, yeah.
But if you buy a whole bunch of shit for your wife so that she can be happy, so that you can be happy, is that not still selfish?
If you buy your wife a bunch of shit so that you can be happy?
No, so that she can be happy, so that you can be happy. Happy wife, happy life is what they always say.
Yeah. Is that still, so that'd be selfish on her end?
I don't know. Like, is it selfish on your end?
I see what you mean. That's
because you're doing something for someone.
Yeah.
But it's still for the purpose of yourself.
Yeah.
Like,
Damn, that's a whole nother way of putting it. Yeah.
That's a whole nother level of selfishness, but it's still it's not selfish because you're thinking about somebody else's happiness, but you're thinking about somebody else's happiness for the sake of your happiness. How many people just do something for somebody and it's not about them in any shape, way, or form? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, people will sit there and be like, man, I just do it because I want to make other people happy. But why do you want to make other people happy?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
For what? For what? What do you get out of it? I get a satisfaction. That's still selfishness.
Because at the end of the day, you still focus on you.
Yeah, but that, I feel like it's such a stigma because I feel like selfishness, I feel like there's a balance in shit. Like, you have to do shit for yourself in order to do shit for other people. And the only reason that we really do shit for other people is to feel something in ourselves for ourselves and shit, right? Or to level out some type of karma, or to gain more money, or to, you know, it's always something that we searching for in return. It's never just a one-way thing.
So you're saying the fact that it's still a condition placed on it is still selfish?
I feel like it's still, if we were following the rules of what selfish meant, that would be considered selfishness. But so many other people will see that as being selfless.
I was getting ready to go there.
You know what I'm saying? But it's still selfishness because at the end of the day, you're receiving something out of the deal. You know? That's just kind of how I feel about it. So I'd be like...
But anything you do, you receive something out of it. So wouldn't anything be selfish?
Right. That's what I'm saying. It's like a play on the mind. It's like wordplay. But it's, if you think about the shit, your whole life is one big selfish ploy. Because everything that you do in your life is geared towards the motive of you living and surviving.
Yeah.
So you always committing selfish acts. It's just that along the way, if you're a good enough person, you might help a whole bunch of people along the way and shit.
I see what you're
so
saying. Yeah.
It just works out for everybody. But I feel like at the end of the day, everybody is selfish. But it's like I want to get away from that stigma and change it and be like, yo, everybody's not selfish. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Everybody's just living their lives. Like, you think animals argue about like if another group of animals is selfish or not? No. I'm killing these animals and shit for the sake of my own life and shit. Like, I have to feed myself. I have to feed my pride or whatever. You think they just be battling like, oh, you a selfish son of a bitch. Why you eat first? You know what I'm saying? Why you eat before the lionesses and all of that shit, you know?
So the whole act of selfishness, essentially what you're saying, is a human trait, not necessarily something that is all encompassing.
It's a human, so it's a human awareness, because I feel like in those situations, the person that is calling you selfish is selfish themselves. Because they're only calling you selfish because whatever you didn't work out for their benefit. Or didn't work out for the benefit of the person they thought should have been the benefactor.
Which 9 times out of 10 is themselves.
Probably so.
Yeah. Damn, that's pretty deep, yo. Out of all the answers I've heard with that one question, that was probably one of the ones that kind of stood out the most. My answer was pretty much the whole act of the notion of going to college to get the best job. You see what I'm saying? That mindset right there, and
that is
it's crazy because you don't really realize how wrong that is until you enter into adulthood, I guess. You see what I'm saying? Like, shout out to John C. Smith University. That changed my life. You know,
it changed all of our lives.
Exactly. It's like, and it's funny because we see so many of our, classmates, they being so successful now. But I feel like if I were to ask them the same question, I mean the same notion about college and everything, I feel like all of us will kind of say the same thing in the answer that college kind of helped us network with other people. You see what I'm saying? Like, granted, we got the degree, but if you really break down the degree is really just the standard for everybody outside of, you know, the institution. It's just so other jobs can see, like, okay, this person has a degree. It's a standard. All right, so he met our criteria. You see what I'm saying? But while
he met that portion of it.
Exactly. So, but being at school at Johnson C. Smith University, the networking, that's something tremendous, out of this world. I take that more into account, you know. I'm always for that. The networking that we've done at that school help propel us to where we are now, essentially. You see what I'm saying? It's one of those things where I'm grateful for the things I've learned outside of the class than I have inside the class. You see what I'm saying? That whole experience outside of actually learning the books is what I take into account the most.
Yeah, I would say I would go a step further too and say, like, it might not have just been like about like education. Like what you were saying, pretty much basically the experience. Like, you know, the networking and stuff, yes, most definitely. But I feel like for me, it was a time where you were young enough to get all of the bullshit out.
Yeah.
But old enough to learn, you know, from your mistakes and shit like that. While you in, it was a sensibility. It was like you out here. It kind of gave you like a precursor to what it feels like to just be out here on your own and shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it kind of like separated you from your parents and not really, you know, so where you fall on your parents, but they not right there beside you. So it's like, you can't just run to them every 5 minutes or every, you know what I'm saying, unless you calling them every day and shit. But for me, it was just like, okay, I left DC, Maryland, and I moved all the way down here to this motherfucking, to the lower East Coast and shit. And like we just thrown out there, like, we don't know nobody, we don't have no money and shit. We gotta figure shit out. We gotta learn. We gotta fucking eat. We gotta figure out how to keep ourselves healthy and shit. We gotta stay away from the drama, the bullshit, and like we just fighting. You know, it was like a precursor to like actually just kind of like having jobs, because I see a lot of shit inside of these jobs that I seen when I was in school and shit.
Yeah, I agree. I totally agree.
You know,
with
and
that.
not even on some like job shit, just on some like interpersonal relationships and conversations and shit with people. Like, like you see that same shift in the same circle, but you can tell the difference between niggas who probably went to college and niggas who didn't. Son.
Yeah, that is true. That is, you know? Oh man.
It's not even on some smart versus dumb shit. It's just like social, like, you know.
There's a difference. There truly is a difference.
There's a large difference. Even if you didn't finish school, like, it's still, it's like when you talk to somebody who went to school and shit, right? Like, they might not be able to talk deep about every single thing. Yeah. But there's always something that like they can take a conversation to a whole nother level with. And like, those who venture to go out after college oftentimes are seeking greater knowledge than what they have. So they have that attribute. You know what I'm saying? A lot of niggas who just go into the workforce and stuff are pretty much just like, I need to make money. I'm trying to survive. It's more like a survival mental state. You know what I'm saying? For us, it was more like not necessarily survival, but educating ourselves how to survive before we actually had to go out there and do the shit. So you talk to niggas about different shit, and like you just be finding like You be like, oh man, did you go to school? And they be like, yeah, but I ain't finished. Or like, yeah, I graduated here. Or, I went to this kind of college and shit like that. But I think college is good because it just gives you a chance to see more than what you can. When I went to school, I took like damn near every subject you could possibly think of. You should see my transcripts, nigga. Like I got just pages of just different classes. Like I took yoga, I took African dance, nigga. I took acting, I took speech, I took. I ain't take no business classes, but we had some business classes in our major. Like they was kind of businessy or whatever.
Yeah.
But
it kind of contributes to the well-roundedness of you. You see what I'm saying? Yeah.
Like me being an entrepreneur, that is definitely a good attribute or characteristic to have because, like Robert Kiyosaki said, like people who are professional at one thing, like they're just beastie at one thing. They went to school for this one thing, they do this one thing. They're called specialists.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They only know about that one thing. Like and they're called workers. Like those people are geared and they're driven to work on that one thing. You know what I'm saying? So they get treated like that. Those are like who are entrepreneurs, dog. It's very hard for entrepreneurs to figure out one thing that they want to do, bro.
And remain focused on that one to the T. Yeah,
because as an entrepreneur, you don't know what it is that's going to take you like to that next level of success. So you always trying new shit, and you always got to learn mad shit because you don't always have the resources right there to pull from. So you got to learn. You got to go find out shit about shit. Like you went to school for like chemistry and shit. You over here engineering a whole podcast and shows and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, that's
those
true.
two knowledges are like far, far apart, bro.
Yeah,
like
that's true. That is true.
But you're an entrepreneur, like you know.
Yeah. For everybody out there, yes, Kemetic Energy has a bachelor's degree in chemistry. Yes. But I am doing a podcast. I never would have thought I would have been doing that. You feel what I'm saying? I thought I would have been in a lab somewhere. But it's just funny where life takes you, you know?
Yeah.
I think that's so. But go ahead. I'm listening still.
No, it's just like, school. I respect school, but I just wish that I didn't have to invest so much into the shit financially.
I see what you're saying.
I think that shit is like the greatest burden of every student. Like knowledge is truly free when you think about it.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. So having to pay for it is kind of insultful to like the past tradition of teaching and learning.
Because those same, keep it a buck. Those same textbooks you can buy, you can get from the damn library and learn the same information. The
funny thing about it is the same niggas that write the textbooks, you could probably call them up and say, hey, yo, can I shadow you for a couple years?
That's true.
What I'm saying?
Yeah, that is wild.
Can I do a study with you for a couple years? Teach me what you know, and you don't have to pay me or nothing. Like, that's the thing about humanity now. Like, we always working for money as opposed to working for knowledge. Knowledge gonna bring the bread. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But if you don't got the knowledge, then all you can do is what you do have knowledge about.
That's interesting.
Until you talk something differently, and then it's like, then you get stuck doing that shit.
So going back to the entrepreneurship stuff, I know you did a This Is What I Do joint, and we talked a little bit about your businesses, but you want to go a little more in depth and what, like, okay, so for the people that haven't seen it, what are some of the businesses that you have as Kray New?
All right, so Kray New right now is developing a business called Babyhead. I can say that now because the LLC has been paid for, all the rights are in my name. The copyright is pretty much finished. It's 90% done. I got one more thing to do. So once I do that, everything will be finished. But it's called Babyhead. Babyhead is a project that I've been working on for a couple years, and I've been really trying to figure out what the direction and what the actual company was going to be. As again, that entrepreneur kicking in. Multi-talented, well-rounded. But I've been trying to navigate a single direction for Babyhead. So Babyhead right now is a concept, a project company where we work on creative projects. Now, those projects can range from designing cars or designing t-shirts. You know what I'm saying? It can range from photography to videography, from videography to branding and logo design. So I'm really trying to build up that team. So if anybody needs help with trying to create something, their project, they can come to us, and I will have a team of selective individuals who are creative in multiple things, and we can come together and develop a plan and an idea and you know what I'm saying, and develop upon your project, what it is that you're trying to do. Yeah. You feel me?
Okay.
So right now I've been working on personal projects. I just completed my second album entitled Lone Wolf, after contributing to this great world my first album, which is called The Human Being by Kray, and you can find those albums on YouTube and pretty much every other social music platform. So Kray himself is a character or personality developed by me, myself, Justin Hendricks. So him himself is a brand or company, which is very difficult. So any motherfucker who can help that nigga promote and keep making great music, please hit me the freak up, okay? Because I'm doing everything: the album cover, the photography, the music, the rapping, the writing, all of that stuff.
Okay.
But so that whole aspect is Kray. That's a project within Babyhead. Another project that I've been working on is photography for portraits and just different job type pictures and stuff like that, and family photos, videography work for companies, and trying to help them grow their business with some media entertainment and shit like that. Okay. Also, your boy is a musician, so I be doing shows. Hit me up if you got a show going on. Bass player phenomena over here. So I've been working on those things too. I had a lot more businesses at one point in time, but what I did was, with me being a multi-talented person, as far the boy takes pictures, he videographer, he draws, does design. He's a freaking musician, sound engineer, producer, a rapper, a singer, writer, actor. With all of those, it's like, nigga, you'll never be able to just do one thing.
Yeah.
How can you take this and make it one? So that's what I did. I just pretty much took everything and just like condensed it into a creative project company, to where we can take all those aspects of entertainment and use it for your project. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's pretty dope, yo. I rock with that. So what, I don't want to make this just an interview of you and everything that you're doing, but you mentioned
I'm losing prep.
It's like you talked about, Robert Kiyosaki. So what have you been like? What are some of the resources that you've been tapping into? It sounds like Rich Dad Poor Dad from the jump. I mean, that's the first thing you think about when you hear Robert Kiyosaki. But what else you been listening to that really got you into the whole entrepreneurship mindset?
So I mean, like, first off, the whole entrepreneur mindset started way, way, way back. I'm talking about like in high school or middle school. Where I was like, yo, like, this school shit is dead. Like, I don't want to be caught in a place where I'm basically being manufactured to do what other people want me to do all the time and shit. Like, that shit is cool. It's cool, but like, you should never devote 100% or 90% or 80% or more than 50, I would say more than 60% of your time to somebody else's cause and shit. That's
Yeah,
fucked up.
yeah, I feel you on that.
It's like it's cool to like devote 30%, 40%, 50% to somebody's cause. That's enough, dog.
Yeah,
But that other 50% and shit, you gotta use that shit for what it is you got going on.
Yeah.
Whether it's your goals, your family, your school, your education, trying to survive.
yeah, yeah.
Shit, that percentage of your life belongs to you. Like, I've been listening to Rich Dad Poor Dad, and he's been talking about, the books talks about how 10% of everything you make is yours to keep. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I think that right there, I think it's more than 10%, but 10% is just the starting point.
Yeah, I feel you. I agree
You know
with
what I'm
that
saying?
totally. Yeah.
10% is just like, okay, I'm trying to reprogram myself to believe that I deserve what it is I work for.
Mm-hmm.
As opposed to just paying bills and giving it away every time I make it. Like, think of it like this. When you in the jungle trying to survive and shit, right? It's all about you.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's all about your survival. If
That's
you
true.
don't survive, nobody who's with you or nobody's around you is going to survive.
Yeah.
Because y'all going to need each other. But if it's just you, everything you do is to your survival. What you catch to eat, that shit doesn't go to the government. You know? You don't buy your products when you out there in the world trying to survive. You make them.
Yeah.
You gotta teach yourself how to make ropes. You gotta teach yourself how to build forts and how to make fire, warm up food, and eat healthy. What's good and what's bad. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's truly survival. Yeah. That's essentially what it is.
So why is it that in this domesticated mind state of the human being, do we feel like it's necessary we gotta buy products?
Yeah.
We gotta pay taxes and shit like that. I mean, I don't understand the tax network and how it works, but I feel like it's just too much. They take too much control. Everybody has too much control over an individual's life.
I feel like it's a problem, and the crazy part is the wealthy think the same way. They have the same notion, but it's sad to say it's like the middle class and the lower class, they defend taxes. I don't understand that. You feel what I'm saying? Like, the first thing they want to say, because I had a conversation with a dude at work, and he's a very intelligent dude, right? And he was like, man, we should have to pay taxes. We got to do that. Who's going to keep the roads right? And da-da-da-da-da-da. I was like, man, don't get it twisted, because we weren't always paying taxes. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
We weren't always doing that shit. They got old vintage video of how roads and things looked like before we really paid taxes out here. And it was beautiful. You see what I'm saying? Leave that up to the states if you want to do that. It's like, dog, we don't have to have this whole notion of, taxes. Then you break it down, this whole federal tax, state tax, sales tax. We don't need to have all these single taxes. If you want to talk about, if you really want to talk about taxes, why does it have to break down in so many different things? Just make it one goddamn tax.
Exactly.
It doesn't make sense to me at all.
One time a year. Like, you don't need taxes every fucking month, every day and shit. That's just fucked up.
Exactly. Like, that whole notion of fixing up roads and all that shit, man. Come the fuck on, dog. Like, nah. I feel like that's like a bunch of bullshit to me. Like, that's a cop-out type shit to me. There's other ways we can do this shit. You feel me? Like, I feel like in a perfect world, we can come up with a whole nother plan for fixing up shit. I don't know, man. And it just burns me up that the wealthy think the same way. And as, taxes don't mean shit. That's why they don't pay no taxes. You see what I'm saying? They got their stuff strategically set up so they won't have to pay no tax, or at least just a little bit of tax. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
because they think the same way. But the lower class and the middle class, they defend this shit and we getting taxed more. It's like, what the fuck, dude? When are people going to wake up and realize that this is not the way we need to be thinking? You see what I'm saying?
Exactly.
I ain't trying to be on no rebellious old bullshit, but I'm just trying to be like, yo, let's make sense of this shit.
Exactly. It's not, and that's what most people get it twisted. They think like, oh, he talking like that, he must be like a conspiracy theorist. Like, okay, all of this shit is a goddamn conspiracy. What the fuck?
Yeah,
It's the
man.
definition of a goddamn conspiracy.
Mm-hmm.
The shit is ran and it's orchestrated and organized for motherfuckers that have to pay more money for the government to make more bread. This is for government people.
Yeah.
Government niggas are not rich. They don't make a lot of bread. But when you can sit there and decide how much money you make as a law, you know, why the fuck it, you know, that's, you got power. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, so you can decide to make 6 figures or 7 figures and shit. You know, in a couple years. But I just think it's ridiculous because like you was saying, there shouldn't be a tax on everything.
Yeah.
And you know, I know we enter into a whole nother subject, but taxes is a very big issue and shit because we pay taxes for roads. We all one country, right? Why the fuck we paying different taxes in different states? You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, we gonna pay taxes and shit. Every state makes different amount of money depending on what kind of jobs and shit is out there, right?
Yeah.
So why does everybody get paid a different number?
Yeah.
Why can't, you know what I'm saying? What would it be like if we all got paid the same amount? If everybody's fucking bills and shit equaled up and everybody got paid pretty much the same, you could keep record of all of that shit. We could all pay taxes once a fucking year or however the fuck, once a month or whatever the fuck you would want it to be.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it wouldn't have to keep going fluctuating up and down and shit. I feel like it's set up like a game. Like some niggas supposed to win, some niggas is supposed to fail, and the middle class is supposed to just be like the pillars to keep both in structural line.
That's exactly what it is. That's the division is what it is. It's the, you know, separating high class from middle class to low class. That's the way you got to keep that division.
Yeah. So pretty much that the developers, the niggas who design the game, can keep making bread off of all the niggas in the game that's playing.
Hell yeah, Monopoly is real, yo. Monopoly just ain't no goddamn board game. Like
that shit is
man. I feel like the person that created that shit, he knew what the fuck was going on, yo. He put them gems in that shit for a reason. You feel what I'm saying? And like I said in the previous episode, shout out to Derek Grace because he created an in-home baking board game. And he talked a little bit about like what the fuck is going on and how we need to level up. You feel what I'm saying? And he created his board game kind of with some other gems inside of it, just, you know, dealing with a bunch of different things from finances to, you know, how to live your life. There's a bunch of different things in there, but this shit is deep as fuck. Like he knew, you know?
Yeah.
If, you know, if ain't nobody checked him out, check him out, man. Like he got gems. But I think, you know, that shit.
It amazes me how people can just like be oblivious to the shit. Like you sitting there talking about this person's a conspiracy, you know, or you know, like where are your facts? Anybody can figure out the fucking game if you just sit there and look at it and think. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. It
don't take long to see through the rules and shit. Like you can just see like, okay, this doesn't make sense. Especially the people who are like know everything about this shit. Yeah. And who are all for it. How can you be all for some shit that you know is rigged?
Yeah.
And you playing right into that shit.
Getting thrown right in the trick bag.
You know what I'm saying? Like you know all the ins and outs of the shit. You know. It's like when they fucking choosing the president. Like, you know this president's a fucking dickhead. Right? And you know this other president is pretty cool and shit. He might not be everything, but he's not a fucking dickhead. You know what I'm saying? But you like, regardless of all the bullshit that they say about this one president, you know it's true. You still like, oh, he's an upstanding American and he's the truth. He's what America really is and shit. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And then this person who's, you know, has gone through the same scrutiny, you fucking crushing him and blowing him and shit. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, he's not an American. He really did that shit. Da 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 da. It's like, y'all don't even want to realize what the fuck is going on.
Yeah.
Like y'all like living in the matrix. It's comfortable for you. So
Yeah. Well, switching over to politics now, what you think about the whole Biden pulling out of Afghanistan, man, and Taliban taking over?
man,
Like that shit.
I don't know how to feel, son. Like it's just because it's not happening to us. So we don't know what the fuck is going on. We
Mm-hmm.
really don't know why the fuck we was over there in the first place. I mean, some niggas do,
Mm-hmm.
but
Yeah.
I don't know why the fuck we was over there before 9/11 and during 9/11 and even after. Like, what the fuck were we still over there for? And to make sure terrorists weren't going to try to kill us in America, like
Mm.
that. That's what they're saying. What the fuck were we trying to do over there? Like, oh, we're protecting our country in somebody else's country. What? Okay, all right. Well, that's cool, but now we trying to pull out, and it's like, all right, so the money got fucked up somewhere.
Mm. Mm-hmm.
Or somebody pays somebody enough, or somebody offers something.
Mm-hmm.
How is this? We pulling out of this country and shit. We know that they gonna take this bitch over. We know that these people aren't dumb. They're able to make smart decisions.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they could fucking develop armies out of people off the street.
Mm-hmm.
And their country's way bigger than ours.
Mm-hmm.
If they got to the point where they could like start developing those good close relationships with other countries and shit, like
who knows what'll happen?
yeah. And I think that's what I think that's what Americans are afraid of. They don't want to see the little man strengthen his forces and shit, because they could be like fucking Japan and shit. Be like, yeah, oh nigga, but all right, we about to motherfucking protect the shit out of what the fuck we
China,
got.
China definitely, yeah, that shit. Ooh.
And I feel like, but see, China's big as fuck.
Yeah.
Japan is like a fucking dot compared to
you're
China.
Right. Yeah, yeah.
But yet, I think for a long time, like, but for a long time, well, shit, up until this day, Japan is a superpower.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Them niggas got power, and you like, how can this small ass country have all this goddamn power and shit?
Yeah, yeah.
But they're the technological race of the world and shit.
Yeah, yeah. They lead.
So they got all the technology and all the motherfucking niggas working there. But getting back to over there, all the people, they scared and they acting erratically because they're afraid of what's going to happen.
Because of what happened previously.
What's been happening,
Yeah. Yeah. My heart goes out to them because that's scary, dog.
My heart goes out to us.
Yeah.
I don't know what the fuck they got going on. I don't know if I should be afraid because this could be a good thing, or if I should just be like afraid because like they about to have mad executions in the middle of the streets. Like, but I don't know why you would want to do that to your own people though.
Yeah, see
that's
part.
that kind of.
So I did a little research on that, and they practice like Sharia law. Like, I don't want to go too in depth in that, and it's just how they want their things to be. You see what I'm saying? They want to take that country back over and have it under their rule of how they want to live their lives, and it's restricting. You see what I'm saying? Like, ladies got to be covered up and everything. They can't work jobs and all that stuff. And, they ain't trying to live like that. To a lot of people, that's an archaic type of mindset. And people don't want to live that type of life no more.
It's an old segment.
Yeah, man. And for them to be jumping on planes like that and hanging off the planes to get away from that, that's when like, this shit is real. Like, that's how bad they want to get the hell up out of there, man. That shit, man, that's crazy, dog. But I seen something. Ooh, it started a little firestorm on Facebook, man. It showed it showed the Taliban dudes taking over the president's office, right? It was a split screen type of thing, and the caption, I can't quote it exactly, but it was saying something to the effect of, "You're scared of this," and it showed the Taliban in the president's office who fled the country, right? But then it said at the bottom, it says, but you refuse to say anything about this. And it was the actual picture of those the dudes who stormed the Capitol and shit. I was like, well, damn, I ain't never thought about it like that, yo.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? It's I don't know that shit. Can you call that shit damn near the same thing?
That is terrorist.
Yeah,
that's terrorism.
Like that
Yo,
shit,
that what them fucking people did, bro. That was an act of terrorism.
It was
because you just showed the world that it's possible.
Yeah.
And if it's possible to do it on one building in Washington D.C., it's possible to do it on a whole bunch of buildings. You just gotta have enough people to do it.
That shit's scary as fuck, dog.
Yeah, like, cause them cops wasn't doing shit. They wasn't doing they fucking job. Like, they want to shoot innocent motherfuckers on the streets and who got their hands up and do all this funny ass shit, make them walk backwards and lay on the ground and shit. But when they got a whole mob of people coming straight at them, they pistols is hosted like some little bitches. That's some fucking bullshit.
Yeah, that is some bull, man.
You know, if you a cop and you gonna shoot motherfuckers, you need to be able to shoot these motherfuckers when it's the right time and shit. Like, don't be killing innocent niggas and shit and then going back and you letting these, you know, because I don't give a fuck if it's white people or whoever it is. A mob of people rushing into a building to do harm to innocent individuals is an act of terrorism to me, nigga.
Yeah.
Damn niggas need to get laid the fuck out. There is no ifs, ands, and buts about it. Bust aim for the motherfucking head, because these niggas, you don't know what their intention is. That you could have people in the crowd trying to set up bombs. It could be an illusion. It could be a diversion. It could be a whole bunch of shit. It's no telling. And this is my thing about that whole situation. We only focus on the surface shit. We focus on the dumbest fucking redneck, goddamn niggerish, fucking hillbilly gang hood living motherfucking shit. You know what I'm saying? Niggas on the telephone in people's offices. My thing be like, you don't know what the fuck was in that crowd, bro. Yeah. You don't know what small things were being orchestrated, you know, behind the mask of the crowd. Yeah. Niggas could have been going into people's offices, grabbing information, documentation, sitting that, faxing that shit back to their house. Yep. They could have been getting their standard operating procedures and shit. Yeah. And mocking that, copying that shit down, giving it to the KGB or what. Shit, the KGB could have been in the motherfucking crowd. They got they fucking white. You wouldn't know the fucking difference and shit. Like, it could have been Italian, it could be Germans. Who the fuck would have known? All the motherfuckers is white. Yeah.
That shit is wild, man. And I saw a video today. It had a dude who was one of the dudes who stormed the Capitol. And he was talking about mask mandates in Florida. And he was like, yeah, make me famous. Like, put me on there. Yeah, I was up there. I was doing the shit. I ran up in that shit. But I'm going to tell you right now, like, I'm not with all this mask mandating. He was like, man, I got a list of all the school board members in Florida. I got their addresses. I got everything. I was like, well, god damn, like, that shit is
that's the shit. Yeah. And the scary thing is, it was rich niggas in that fucking crowd, bro.
Oh, hell yeah, yo.
And you know what kind of shit a nigga with money can do with information from the government, dog?
Yeah, man. That shit is pretty wild, dog. And you can't tell me that they got everybody. Ain't no motherfucking way.
There's no way. There is no way. You had niggas who had bread. You had niggas who was in the government. That shit was crazy as fuck.
Yeah, man.
And these was this American city, this American country's own flesh and blood, that red, white, and blue wearing ass motherfuckers and shit. Yeah. Doing this shit on their own turf. Like, yeah, nigga, we the ones who run the country. We can do this whenever we feel like it. So, and not get killed and not pay for it.
And then not even really, because like I said before, they all got different, consequences from it. Some people ain't even get bagged. Some people got slaps on the wrist, and some people did go to jail. It seemed like the ones who were the biggest show offs in there, they got a little bit of time. You know what I'm saying? But to have all these different levels of consequences when they all did the same goddamn thing, it's just crazy to me. You see what I'm saying? Like, dude, what goes in the mind of a judge when you coming across somebody that stormed the fucking Capitol and you get this man probation? What?
Yeah.
Like, nigga, please.
Yeah, like this nigga just stole some fucking bubble gum from the corner store or some shit.
Yeah, it's like, dog, what the fuck, man? That shit. But
6 months community service.
It puts me in that mindset, and fuck it, I gotta throw the color in this shit. It's like there's still a level of white privilege with all of that shit. There is.
It's an exceeding level.
Exactly. Even with something as tremendous as that, you still give these people privilege? Like, come on, dog. If you give them for that, you can't. These motherfuckers really can't do shit. They can't. I mean, they can do anything they fucking want and not get no consequence. Like,
that shit's crazy, dog.
Yeah, dog. I think that shit is wild as fuck, man. It's just.
But you know what? Like, the thing about white people that we fail to really, like, agitate is the fact that white people know their power.
Yeah.
And they know what they can do if they band together with that power.
That's oof.
And the fucked up thing about it is that we as black people, out of all of the fucking traits that we snatched from the white man, is that's the one shit that we still have not come yet to fucking grab.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We don't know what our power is. Well, and it's fucked up because we do know, but we don't know what our power is. And we will not take the necessary steps to band together and decide, like, yo, even though we've been shown what we can do if we stand together as a community or as a people and shit,
yeah,
we still are so afraid. You know, these white niggas, they not afraid. They gonna run up in the Capitol like we got power. They're not gonna shoot us. What are they gonna do? Shoot us? They'll tell a cop to his face, "What are you gonna do? Shoot me? What are you gonna do? Shoot me?"
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They'll invoke the fist. They'll do all kinds of shit. You know what I'm saying? A black person will sit there and, you know, my camera is on. I am reaching in my pockets. You cannot, you know. And we argue and then we get shot. You know, and that's fucked up because if we knew what our power was, that something like that could fuck the police department up.
So a lot of people say, you know, why don't you just leave? What are your thoughts on that? Like,
on leaving,
trying to just up and leave.
I feel like if we was gonna leave, we should have left a long time ago.
Really?
We should have left this fucking country in peril. Because right now, the motherfucker, if we left, this shit could probably run. It could probably keep running. They would just live off of the Spanish community.
Yeah, that's true too.
If we was going to fucking leave, we should have left when shit was first developing. We had the opportunity to get the fuck out of here, you know.
Yeah.
And because right now, if we go to any other country, who gonna fucking take us? You know, and when we get there, it's gonna be so goddamn hard. It's gonna be like starting from scratch. It's gonna be so fucking hard to be a civilization amongst another civilization, because then it's gonna be hate. Then it's gonna turn into motherfucking turf war. Oh, East Coast versus West Coast. Oh, light skins versus dark. Then it's gonna turn
be
into
like USA all over again.
It's gonna turn into war. We gotta go through that whole session, and we gotta have a civil war and a civil, like
history gonna repeat itself.
Yeah, you gonna have people getting assassinated. Like,
yeah.
The only way that we would be able to do this shit, if blacks seceded from America and like took over a fucking island or some shit. Like we would need to start from scratch on a whole nother fucking island and shit.
Damn.
Or place. I know the what's that gun club with the black the guys with all black?
The Black Panthers?
Nah, the gun club.
Huey P. Newton Gun Club?
No, it's a new gun club. They was marching up there at the fucking Mount Rushmore or some shit, right? And they had all the guns.
NACA. Is it NACA?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know what you're
Naka.
talking about. Yeah.
They representative said something. Wow. He was like, what America needs to do is we not bullshit. We not fucking around no more.
Mm-hmm.
What y'all need to do is
Not fucking around coalition. I think that's what their name
yeah. What y'all need to do is give us our own fucking plot of land and shit. We'll take Texas.
Damn.
And that's what he pretty much said. Give us our own land, give us our own place, give us what we deserve. We'll take Texas, and we'll move all our people down there. We'll move all our resources down there. And I like when he said that shit, nigga, I damn near lost my breath. I was like, God damn, if all blacks moved to Texas, America would be so fucked up.
Yeah.
Because when you think about how fucking big Texas is,
And
it can hold the whole nigga. It can hold the entire black race, nigga. The entire African American race, dog. If we just took this shit over and then motherfuckers just start like all these other cultures start moving the fuck out, we could take this shit the fuck out. Like this shit could hold us. On top of that, Texas got water. It's got its own oil refinery.
Yeah.
It's got its own electrical grid. It's predominantly hot most of the time. Now you do have to deal with hurricanes and shit, but with our brain power and ideas, we could reinforce our buildings and shit to deal with any of that shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That's
and be prepared to rebuild if necessary, because we've done that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's known for having the top industries in dental and health. They got ample amount of fucking hospitals and research and shit going on. This fucking state is damn near a country, dog.
That is wild.
If blacks move down this motherfucker, and everybody thinks, oh, if you black, you gonna move down there, you gonna get slain, and they gonna drag you through the streets on a rope and hang you, and it's all dirt down here, and everybody with rides horses and shit. It is not like that at all.
Yeah.
You know,
it definitely changed my perception, because I was thinking some of that shit before I came down.
Like you come down here, it's like, yo, they got woods, forest, trees, they got land, they got buildings. I ain't seen sand since I've been down this motherfucker. Like we got more water than we got sand. It ain't dry. You know?
Yeah. It's pretty
But if
wild.
blacks, just imagine if this would be Wakanda, nigga. Atlanta not gonna do it. It's not gonna do it. It's too congested out that motherfucker.
Yeah, it is. It's small. It is small.
Texas,
and that's the city versus the whole state. So
but in Texas, you got Atlanta can't even compare, because they just got Atlanta is just like motherfucking is a city. That shit is the pretty much the most developed joint out there, right? Texas, you got Houston, you got Dallas, you got San Antonio, you got
Galveston.
Galveston. And it's just so many. You got Austin. It's just so many different places and shit.
I heard it's really popping in DeSoto. I heard DeSoto is really big with the black community, man.
DeSoto?
Yes, DeSoto, Texas, man. There's actually, I came across a holistic shop that was in DeSoto, but they were on the news for being like another PG County in DC, dog. But on a whole nother level, because you got to remember, look at the cost of living down here. They mansioned out big money, man. Like that shit. I was like, DeSoto, wow, DeSoto, Texas.
That shit would be crazy, bro. the rest of the country would probably be like, they'd be fucked up.
Yeah.
You know,
Mm-hmm.
then once you lose, like, the thing about white, the definition of white is void of color.
Mm.
There's nothing. Mm. That is absolute nothing. That's absolute infinite space.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
White is pretty much, it's not a purification.
Mm-hmm.
It's a decimation.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So when something is white, it means that nothing can pass through it. There is no color. There's no nothing and shit, right?
Yeah.
Black is melanin. It's the collaboration of all colors.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So black can't be void. I mean, you know what I'm saying? There's always something inside of it.
Yeah.
You know?
Mm-hmm.
So and I'm translating that to, like, as far as like humanity is concerned, when you have a culture which they call themselves white take over a whole city and shit, they wipe out the culture. What's left? Nothing.
Yeah.
That's why they go out of their way to go invest in indulge in someone else's culture. Mm-hmm. They pay millions of dollars specifically to enjoy a piece of work that did not come from their culture.
Damn.
You know what I'm saying? Because they don't have, what the fuck do they have? All they known is for, like, destruction. Yeah. They talk about their Vikings and shit. They talk about the medieval times. Like, all of that shit, them motherfuckers was poor as shit, and all they did was fight and take over land and develop taxes and shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, they were not living good. Like, they lived in the coldest places on earth, and they had to fucking endure the worst shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
On top of dealing with wild animals like lions and shit and bears and all that crazy ass shit. So what did they do? They were like, man, fuck this. We tired of living over in this cold ass country, cold ass fucking shit. Mm-hmm. We want to fucking find something else. So they went to Africa on accident. They went to fucking Spain and all these other countries on fucking accident, on accident, because they didn't know where the fuck they were going, because they thought the fucking world was flat, which that's a whole nother topic.
Oh, man. Yeah.
And these other cultures taught them how to live and how to fucking be big and shit. And they stole that shit and used it against us. And became big as fuck.
Yeah. They took a little bit and damn.
Because it's not like I don't like white people. White people are cool as fuck. Like, they're dope. Yeah. White is always gonna stand out amongst black. Black is always gonna stand out amongst white. That's just how. It's just the laws of physics. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? It's just the color theory. But you need white in order to have black. You need black to have white. Yeah. But it's just fucked up, like how humanity turns it into a battle.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's society. That truly is, like, I don't know, man. I shock people at work when I told them I don't really follow societal norms, man. Like, that shit, man. It's a bunch of bullshit. That's just kind of how I feel with it, because society will say, the darker you are, the uglier you are. You see what I'm saying? It's like, are you fucking serious? Like, people gotta understand societal norms. You have to take into account all of that shit. It's all encompassing. Yeah. So if it's like, and it's gonna be some shit you don't fucking agree with. So if you don't fucking agree with this one thing, why do you agree with these societal norms? You see what I'm saying? Like, nah, fuck that, man. I don't follow that shit. Yeah.
Because mad niggas, like, they'll take societal, so they'll pick and choose which societal norm they want to fucking live in.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? And that shit be pissing me off. Like you're an American capitalist, or you're a fucking, redneck, way left field, or whatever the fuck the real right. I don't know what the fuck they call it. Far right, way left, whatever the fuck. I don't, racist ass nigga and shit. And you believe all this, the Constitution, this, that, and the Fifth Amendment, and First Amendment, and blah, blah, blah. And the right of speech and shit, right? But it's like, when it comes to somebody else's culture and shit, you don't want to believe the stereotypes about your own culture, but willing to believe the stereotypes about somebody else's.
Yeah.
So much that you protest about the shit. You know, blacks are the number one killers of their own people. It's like, come the fuck on, man. What?
Stop watching TV.
There's more blacks killing blacks than there is whites killing whites. Are you fucking serious? Y'all niggas literally make movies about this shit all the time. And all of your actors are white and they're killing each other. Like, what are you talking about? Like, the proof is in the pudding. Y'all write books about how these white people go to this country and fuck with these white people, and y'all do it back and forth, and y'all kill each other and shit. You know, we don't do shit like that. Like, our movies are very small compared to how many movies y'all niggas.
And you know what? I think that's where they fuck up, right? When they make that notion, and what you just said was fucking key. You got it in books that say whites are killing whites throughout history, right? And these history books, you won't really see anything about blacks killing blacks throughout these different wars, right? So doesn't that prove my point that whites are killing more whites than blacks keep killing more blacks? You see what I'm saying? Like, if you want to go there, we'll go there. You see what I'm saying? That shit is written down. What you speaking right now, that argument that you making, that shit ain't written down. But I can pull up any single textbook and it'll show a white person killing another white person.
Right.
Like, that's
any comic book.
Yeah.
Shit, if you want to get that, if you want to get really dirty, let's throw the comic books in there and shit. Yeah, Superman killed somebody. Okay. You know what I'm saying? The fuck?
Yeah.
Y'all white hope killed somebody. Get the fuck out of here, man. Like, y'all be on that bullshit. You know, let's not protest in the street and act like white people are wholly sanctified and don't do shit wrong. Y'all have a whole network devoted to talking about how to give niggas breath, oxygen. You know, talking about how white people be killing their husband, cutting their penises off and shit, and stealing babies and shit like that. Like, these are white people in these shows, not black people. These are white people. You know,
straight up. Damn. Well, this was a good one, son. We're gonna call this the kickback with Kray and Kemetic.
Call that shit the fucking symbol of life. No.
Damn, man. I think we need to do another one of these joints, man. And, you know, we might even open that joint up to like an IG live and let people chime in.
Coolly in the gang.
Well, this shit was pretty dope, dog. Yeah. Well, with that being said, this is your boy Kemetic Energy.
It's your boy Kray.
All right, man. Again, this is produced by Livewire Sound and Entertainment. Peace out, peoples. Good night.
Peace.
This show was produced by Livewire Sound and Entertainment. If you're looking to rent premium sound equipment for your next concert or podcast at a low price, go to www.livewiresoundent.com.
Dirty Mouth Radio.